Good morning. It's 8:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, June 21st, 2019. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Oh, we have a nice little gain there. Let's compare it to the rest of the market. Well, well, BTC looks like it's going to definitely hit 10,000. And Litecoin, well, if you do a comparative of the gains, Bitcoin's 6.5%, Litecoin's a little under 3%. Um, Litecoin should be heading up a lot higher than it is now. Going by, I keep hearing that Litecoin is going to be 25% of Bitcoin. Maybe in the long term, it's a possibility. And uh, I'm sorry, and, I got people from some place. Every time I block the number, they call up and they start speaking Chinese. Obviously, I'm not Chinese. I'm sorry. Whoever's calling me, I don't understand the words you're saying. Okay. So at the now in the immediate present, I see Litecoin being 2% of what Bitcoin is. Maybe it'll get up to 10. 25% is a little optimistic enthusiasm. I try not to engage in that because it could be misleading. And anyway, this is my opinion, so don't trade based on my opinion. Do your own research, please. Then you have no reason to be upset with me and unsubscribe. If Litecoin hits that 2%, when Bitcoin hits 10,000, Litecoin should be 200. Okay? Then the growth continues of Litecoin as it gains popularity. And when people realize it's faster than Bitcoin, it's got debit cards linked to it, such. I think it'll move up quickly to being 5%. So it'll end up being 500 to Bitcoin's $10,000. That's a longer projection. As the product becomes more usable, it gets more demand. And I don't see any of these that will have debit cards linked to it. Um, Another thing is that on Litecoin, I have to say this because Litecoin, obviously, if you look at the price gains of all the other cryptos on here, major cryptos, Litecoin has the least gains because it's the most manipulated. Unfortunately, what we have on Litecoin, on Coinbase, or probably everywhere, is that we have one market maker on Litecoin, on Coinbase, for example. So he's always going to be manipulating the price to stay in sync with the market rather than let the other clients balance out the price through arbitration. So he just wiped away the whole opportunity to arbitrate the difference of prices between the exchanges, which actually could make the exchanges more money, but it seems that they're more interested in satisfying the market maker and letting him run his liquidity rigging scheme. He's there to provide liquidity, but I find two trades of the same market size posted on both sides of the book for months. I find out those trades are from the market maker, and he's basically kettling the price in between his two trades, which are so large that no downside volume or upside volume could get through them. And then he keeps the price right where he wants it, where his money does the most value to himself or turns the most profit, that's the price he'll put it at. And in this market, he loves $90 to $100. He loves that. So unfortunately, that's who we have the actual market makers like working against us. And it's just the stated fact that this is an emerging market, so you're going to see a lot of manipulation. And what I don't understand is we've been in this market over 10 years now. This isn't an emerging market anymore. When you have exchanges coming online at NASDAQ now, they're going to be trading this. You got TD America on this. This is no longer an emerging market. This is it. This is now an accredited security. 2 federal judges said this in 2018. If it passes the Howey's test, it's a security. So I picked Litecoin because it has a bank behind it. Though I still don't like what Charlie Lee did. When it hit the high price, he dumped everything. And then he pumped the coin's value up by tweeting between him and Brian Armstrong that they were going to put Litecoin on Coinbase. Dudes, that was a little bit of a scam. And then he dumped it all at what, 370, 380? He dumped it all over the market. I don't know how that's going to go over on most people, but when you do that on any other coin, you're going to get some pretty negative comments. Because we all know what the intention was. But for some reason, since Charlie Lee is an affable guy, everybody was trying to write him a hall pass on that. I'm sorry, I can't write him a hall pass on that. You're telling me that you're selling all your coin because you wanted to avoid a conflict of interest. Yet, as soon as it gets on Coinbase and hits the high price it never hit before, you dump everything you own and then claim it's for it's to avoid conflict of interest. That's a conflict of interest right there in itself. As soon as you got on a reputable exchange and the coin was pumped up, you dumped it. That is a conflict of interest. You dumped all over the people that were holding the coin, that believed you. So that's why I think, to tell you the truth, after he did something like that, he should be shoved to the side on the Litecoin board. All right? Because that drama is what caused Bitcoin a lot of grief. The same drama. All of these people like Craig White and they're creating other offshoots of the coin. The whole board is arguing with each other. That's why I think Litecoin is going to surpass Bitcoin in the future as a transaction currency. But Bitcoin will be the store of value. There's no denying that Bitcoin will be the store of value. Unless you want to stay in fiat and pay $1 for a candy bar, and then next year you're paying $1.25 for the same candy bar. You want to stay in fiat? You take $1 worth of Bitcoin, you hold on to it, in 6 months you can buy 10 candy bars. There's a chance it will go down. Yeah, of course there is a chance to go down. But your fiat goes down every day it exists. And if there's an economic collapse, forget it. Are you going to carry around bags of gold coins to go out and do purchases when there's hungry people all over the street? They might not take your gold, but they'll wait until you go into that store and you purchase your groceries with the gold, and they'll take it. So I don't know why you guys think gold and all this other stuff is great. Believe me, the financial network will still be intact if there's a financial collapse. They'll close the banks. But there's nothing to stop you from putting your cryptocurrency on a phone, on your cell phone, and then going to the store and doing an NFC bump and buying your stuff with that and walking out the store. I can tell you one thing. If the shit hits the fan and you want to go to the grocery store, I'm available to hire. I'm a licensed armed guard. You want to go down to the grocery store and make a purchase, I'll take you down there. I'll even put a vest on you. But crypto is the future. It is. Why? Because you get to manage your own money. Look at this stable coin. I'm a hotshot star in Hollywood. I'm going to be the new star of, say, Blade 4. Right? I use Wesley Snipes as an example because he went to jail for tax evasion. What do? I don't want to pay taxes to a government that's out of control. A government that's not protecting my civil rights. A government that's allowing others to violate other people's civil rights, and it turns a blind eye to it. So I don't want to pay taxes. Hey, you guys, you know what USDC is? It's a stable coin. I don't want to be paid in dollars. You pay me in stable coin and you send the money to this account on Gemini, on Coin. Now you don't have to pay any taxes on that money, except anytime you turn it into dollars. Then you have to pay tax on that. Then you don't go to jail and you keep your money. And then there's also, if you feel like buying something, there'll be people that will take that stable coin. Hey, I want to buy a new car. Yeah, you take guys who will take stable coin. Yeah, we'll take Bitcoin, Litecoin. You want to buy a Ferrari? Yeah, we will take it. You give it, you pay them, you drive out with the car. You got to give up on fiat because it's given up on us. Have you seen what happened to Greece? People were committing suicide. They were wiped out. The banks gave themselves permission to go inside your bank account and help themselves to your hard-earned money. Who ever heard of that? And then the best part of it is that money that they're taking, somebody that you before you get your paycheck is actually taking about a third of your money before you even get your paycheck. Then you say, well, let me hold on to this money and put it in the bank. And then you go to, I need it. We're having a financial crisis. I want to put food on the table. I have to get my money at the bank. The bank is closed, and they're helping themselves to another 10% of your money. How the hell do you run a financial system that allows that? How do they think people are going to want to deal with that financial system? Where they could just decide the money that you're giving them in good faith to protect your assets, they're actually the ones stealing it. Now, America's been abused by the Fed too long, man. These financial geniuses, like that guy Hank Paulson, the bald-headed guy from Goldman Sachs, he gets Goldman Sachs bailed out, and then he takes $500 million out of the bonus money, gives them to himself as a little gift. And he sees no problem why millions of people are getting laid off because of the financial crisis and the disaster they caused. He's going to help himself to $500 million of the taxpayer money of the people he helped get laid off, lose their jobs. The system a system that is supposed to be family, a unified system that benefits and helps everybody, not benefits one and destroys another. And then you expect that person that is destroyed to still want to be involved in the system and still support it. Crypto is a self-supporting system. You make your own decisions. You decide what you're going to do with your money. And if you play it wisely, you could benefit from this very handsomely. You just have to pay attention. If you're trading, turn off the emotion. I learned that myself. I made a few mistakes. Oh, it's going to keep going up. Ooh, when I first got in. And then I learned about RSIs, EMAs. I learned all of this stuff because I'm interested in making my own money. I want to know when I deposit my money in the bank, how are they making money? They're doing this. They give you crap. When you make a profit on your cryptocurrency trade, right? That's the same thing that the bank is doing with your money is in it. They're taking your money and lending it, putting it on markets, doing all types of things with it, and making a killing off of it. They'll make a $10 off the dollar you put in there, and then they'll chuck you here's 2 cents, and they call that fair. No, over here you do all the homework right. You get to keep all of it. You're free. You make it or you break it. It's all on you. You're gonna work for somebody for 20 years, and the government's been taking 20% of your salary. Your boss shows you no appreciation. People don't even get raises anymore. You work yourself to death. You work 40, 60 hours. You a kid's brought into your family. Now you got to work 70, 80 hours a week. How is that freedom? You never leave the plantation. You're always in the field picking the cotton for master. Anything you want, you have to go for master. Master, I need a little more space. I had a child. Well, you're going to have to go out there and pick more cotton, boy. Matter of fact, as soon as your kid gets of age, I want them in that field picking that cotton with you. You owe me money. You're still a slave. You're still a slave. If you use their financial system, you're still a slave to them. And I don't want to be nobody's slave. I want to cut what I plan to do in the future, in the immediate future, is I'm going to trade. I've been learning and learning, absorbing as much as I can. I'm starting to get proficient now at trading where I lose very little money and I'm making more than I'm losing. Way more. I want to pay off my master and get off his plantation and leave and go have my own space. Let my daughter grow up, teach her this is how you live free. Unless, of course, you want to go work in the city, live on credit cards, pay $15 for a cup of coffee. It's ridiculous. So that's my future. You want to buy a house, you make your own money. Hopefully, you'll get a real estate agency that will accept USDC. Why do I want to give a total stranger 30% of your money that you work for? Why? What do they do for me? If I'm giving money to any service, any government bureaucracy, any service, what am I getting for that? Don't tell me it's good schools, because that's out of the question. My child has to go to private school because the public education system is so horrible. They're worried about teaching your kids acceptance. They have the teaching your kids to give dollars to these trans people who are gyrating their butts in front of their faces in the library. I don't want nothing to do with that. If you want to do that, that's fine by me, but don't tell me I have to do it. Then you see these girls in Connecticut. I have a daughter. They're running their ass off in trading. Then they let the two boys who convinced that they're women on the track team, and all the efforts of the girls matter for nothing. The women's rights activism that for decades to get women to even be able to play in sports, it's gone. I don't understand what's going on. So rather than fight it, the best way right now is not to endorse it by not participating. You know, one person can't stop it. So the only option is not to participate in the foolishness. So crypto gives you a leg out of that, a leg out of this Maya, this sickness that's in devalues everybody's life. I don't understand this. The social justice warriors have devalued the most innocent people's lives and put the needs of the that they say that they're against patriarchy, but yet they allow men to dress as women and dominate women's sports to dominate women. Isn't that patriarchy? This is why I want to get away from the lunacy, and crypto will help me do it. All right, guys. Good luck on your trading. We're going to see even more. You see these moves up are getting more and more powerful. I think we're going to see a nice parabolic move for Litecoin, probably over the weekend. All right, guys. Good luck on your trade.